at the gate of Jianghan. So could you please give us an explanation of the name? This is facing the River Han, so we call it the River Han Gate. So this is one of the must-visit places for our tourists. Could you please say something about the importance of this geographic location of the gate? Here it's surrounded by the commercial centers, and also we have the Museum of the Science and Technology. To the other side of the river, we have the Jianghan Walking Street. So here we have the highest level of population density, and is also one of the most favorite places for our tourists. As you can see now, it's a rainy evening, but it cannot stop the charm and the beauty of the riverside buildings and also the scenery. So later we will take you to a walk by the riverside, and today we're also about to tell you what is waiting for us in the walking street. Recently, we have just realized a upgrading about this walking street. So here with our live streaming program, wherever you are, you could follow us and have a touch of the charm of the walking street. And today's program will also show to everyone some more highlights about this area. So let's take some stairs up. And Mr. He, could you please give us more guiding tips? Because now we are heading upwards. As we could tell, there's a very big building. Yes, because on the ceiling of this building, it's a big hole. Is it a hole or you have a layer of glass? It's totally a hole here. And you could see there are snowflakes during the winter season falling down very gently, and it's very poetic. And you have added up a band of lighting there, so the lighting facility could help to change the atmosphere of this area. And this is the screen for the information showcasing. And now we are watching the advocacy film about the city of Wuhan. This is a publicity about the beauty of this area. So today is a rainy day, so we don't have so many visitors or walkers by our side, but still, you could try to imagine in better weathers how many people would be gathering here. So let's move forward. Now we are in the center of the riverside of the Han. And together with us, you may have the chance to experience the beauty. So first of all, I heard that this is the largest riverside area in Asia. Yes, it's in terms of the area. It's an area of 15,000 square meters, and also with a total length of the walking path of 7 kilometers. If you try to cover this area on foot, then it will take you more than 1 hour. And to the other side of the riverside, they have another beautiful name called 一水临风. What does that mean? It means that here we have a very big platform for you to admire the beauty and the ships passing by on the surface of the river. So you have the fishing boats and also the passenger boats, as well as the whole area. To the other side, you also have the show of the light. It's a very famous spot of tourism here in this area. And over there, the bridge is also lit up by the beautiful lights. We know that there are projections of the light from the other side of the river from afar since the bridge. And in major festivals like the Spring Festival, Mid-Autumn Festivals, different thematic events of the lightings. And compared to my visit of last year, I noticed that here we changed the pavement color. Yes, we have added another layer to facilitate people's walking and jogging. And you could also try to carry out other different kinds of sports. For example, the roller skating. Here, this layer of rubber would help to protect the surface of the road. And we have also experienced a sudden drop in temperature, and immediately we are in winter season. So that explains why we have fewer citizens here in this area. But I believe that it doesn't matter, because in rainy days, we can feel different charm and beauty of the riverside area. And Mr. He, you have been working here for many years. So have you noticed any differences in the scenery between seasons? Yes, of course. In spring, we have the cherry blossoms and also the peach blossoms along the two riversides of Han. And in summer, you could feel the fragrance of the lotus flower. And then in autumn, you can see the reed flowers, and finally in winter you could see the snowflakes falling gently from the sky. And now we are in front of a very big sculpture. Mr. He, what is that? It's called 赤水, the red water in Chinese. We have used the 3 different types of big rocks. They come from different time ages. And then we put the 3 rocks from different timelines together to show the different stages of development. And over there we have the Wall of Love, and also locks here, because every year in May we have the carbon law marriages, so the couples would leave the locks here in order to lock their love here, and we would pick up one of the locks to see what is written on the lock. We have the names of the couple and also the number 99. In Chinese, it means long-term love. And another lock has also the names of the couples. So have you ever calculated the total number of the locks here? At least 3,000. As we can see, we have plenty of them. Talking about the carbon law marriage, I have already witnessed a lot of them. I've also made programs about it. I think it's a very good fashion and a new trend to follow. Today, the new generations of the couples, they have abandoned old tradition of using luxury cars and also the banquets in the hotels. Instead, they use the money to enjoy a banquet on the tourist ship on the river of Han and then on the surface of the Yangtze River. This is the more fashionable way for the younger generation to demonstrate their love. And what about this boat, Mr. He? This is a cannon ship retired from the army. And today we put it here for the patriotic education. And we have noticed the 2 tourists over there on the deck of the ship. So do you have similar monuments and similar equipments like the warships retired from the army by the side of the Yangtze River? Yes, exactly. So we could say that the city of Wuhan is quite a symbol of the Yangtze River culture. And from this spot, we could have a very clear glance at the show of the light. And Mr. He, could you please explain to us the geographic location from this spot? Because many tourists and many viewers are not very familiar with this place. Over there, the most impressive building is also the tallest building, 606 building, and that one is the Yangtze River Bridge. And over there, the number one city. And to the other side, you could see a lot of cartoon characters dancing and playing drums. All those features are created by the light. And dating back to the month of October, we have also covered the whole show of the lighting. And on both river sides, we have showcased the thematic lighting events to our citizens. But tonight we have noticed a difference in our lighting performance because it's totally in blue color and it's very dreamy. And this is a building of Hankou. And many young people are walking by. It's very cold, but still we could find quite many youngsters by our side. And now the lighting changed color into red. Red is the favorite color of the Chinese people. And in rainy days, the colors would have different charm. And in front of us, we could see something special. This is also a famous symbol of our city. It's called the whole family. It's a symbol of unity and getting together of all the family members. And this year we have also survived from the flooding season. And this beautiful sculpture of the whole family, the three family members in front of the river, it's a symbol of happiness of the people living in the city of Wuhan. So let's continue with our journey forward. We're always in a hurry because time flies. We can never have enough time to cover every corner of the city, and especially in this very beautiful riverside area. And in this riverside area, another important function is the prevention and control of the flood. And apart to that, is also a good environment for the recreation of the people for entertainment. For example, here we have facilities for sport. And as is mentioned before, the total walking path has a length of more than 7 kilometers. So across the road, we have 288 sports like this, equipped with facilities of sports. Good evening. I'm the journalist from CCTV. We are doing the live streaming program, and we noticed that you're jogging. So you are a jogger, right? So you do the jogging every day? Yes, exactly. So this pavement for the jogging, it's newly made. Do you feel very cold running here? I think it's okay. And as a citizen of Wuhan City, what's your feeling about the environment? Yes, this year we had a very difficult start with the epidemic, but finally we have survived and we have recovered and back to normal now. So this is a very sporty man. So with better weathers, we would expect more people running here and doing sports. By riverside of Han, We have organized a lot of festivals. For example, the low carbon marriage and the Kite Festival, and also the China-German Music Festival, etc. A lot of them. We have another sculpture here. We have a lot of characters here. In the beginning of the 20th century, by then, Wuhan was one of the major exportation sites of the Chinese tea to foreign countries like Russia. So this is the start of our exportation. As we could see that the sculptured persons, they are holding hands. A lot of visitors would visit this place in recent days, and a lot of people would come to this place to do some jogging and some other exercises. And during festivals or during holidays, or even during the weekends, we would organize artistic performances for our citizens so as to enrich their spiritual life. So here, this 7-kilometer long of the walking path and also the riverside area is a very popular spot among our citizens. And we have also noticed a very big piece of rock. This has been transported from the Three Gorges area. And today during our walk, we could feel that the transition of Wuhan from autumn to winter, and now with the slight rain, it's really beautiful, and I believe that is one of the most beautiful seasons of the city. And now when we walk under the trees, we would think about a question. If we travel in family, what is the best choice for the whole family member? And I believe that this riverside area would be the best option, because for the whole family, every member inside could find his favorite spot. Like here we have entertainment, leisure, and sports, etc. You have multiple choices, and this is a huge diversity. And I've also noticed the swimming pool in open air. And along the riverside, we have 3 of them. So it will be open from June to September throughout the year. So currently, it's already closed. Is it only open to adults? Children could also go inside and have some swimming. So we can notice some of the notice boards here. This is more like the milestone, signifying that we have already covered 2,600 meters. And since we are walking very slowly, we didn't cover much distance. And now we are heading towards one of the open-air swimming pools. Both children and adults are welcome, and it's also one of the most popular destinations among the children, because inside you have also many other interesting facilities for children. So it's one of the best options for the parents with children. And for people, the citizens living in Wuhan, they love to play with water and enjoy the water. For example, I know that you have the swimmers in winter, and they would come to this area of the riverside. And they also have a so-called classic trajectory. People will plunge into the water from Wuchang and then get out of water and finish their swimming activity by this spot. And now in front of us, over there is an open-air swimming pool, also with some other entertainment facilities for children. Currently, we don't have the indoor swimming pool, so we may consider to transform one of the 3 open-air, the outdoor swimming pools, into an indoor one. In that case, even in colder weathers like during the winter season, the adults and the children could still come to the riverside and go into the swimming pool for some sports. Now, by the riverside, we have 12 stadiums like this, including the badminton stadium, the football, terrace, and basketball playground. So a lot of options for our citizens and visitors from other cities. For people not living in Wuhan, they would like to know how many riverside areas in Wuhan. We have 4 of them, including the Hankou, Wuchang, Hanyang, and Hanjiang riverside scenic spots. So what is the biggest charm of Hankou riverside area? Because we are situated in a very special geographic area, we have a very wide area flushed by the Yangtze River water. So we have the widest riverside area, and we have the largest area. So it's already 8 p.m., but still a lot of passengers are present in the riverside area. And to the other side of the river, you could also notice the prosperity of Wuchang. As you know, we have the Wuchang, Hankou, and Hanyang, the three major areas of Wuhan city. So three of them have different functions. So one for industry, one for commerce, etc. So next door, we could find a very active walking path. And over there, we have a memorial of the visit of Chairman Mao. Chairman Mao had visited 46 times in total in his lifetime the city of Wuhan. In 1956, he came to swim in the Yangtze River by the side of Wuhan for the first time. So we have built this memorial and this museum to memorize the previous visits of Chairman Mao in the city. When was it open? It's open since 2018, so it's in operation since 3 years. Today it's open to all the visitors and citizens, and it's free entrance. And we know that Wuhan is a heroic city, and it boasts of many museums. Just now, we have covered one part of the 7-kilometer walking path by the riverside, and we have also enjoyed the very beautiful light performance. But it's not everything here in Wuhan. To the other side, in other areas of the city, you will find people dressing in traditional clothing and celebrating the old traditions. In that area, we have the Jinhao. Jinhao is the name of a passenger ship. We try to restore and call back the scenery and stories happened in the 1920s and 30s. I have visited the boat, the ship of Jinhao for many times. By then, you would not feel that you are just a visitor, you are just a stranger to the site. Instead, you will feel that you are one of the characters in the story yourself. And our live streaming program is going on. As far from the end of our live streaming program, in the Hubu Lane, my colleague Xu Jia is waiting for all of us, and my colleague would showcase to us the delicious food and the traditional snacks that we could find in the city of Wuhan. Dear viewers of CCTV News, I'm the journalist Xu Jia from Yangtze River Journal. And after the slight rain of the winter season, we could see that this 150 meter of lane of Hubu becomes more beautiful. And we have also invited a native. This is Lady Zhuo Yun. Please say hi to everyone. Hi everyone, my name is Li Zhuo Yun. I'm from the management committee of the Hubu Lane. So together, two of us would show to everyone the beauty and the charm of the lane of Hubu. Actually, our city of Wuhan is very famous for the delicious food here. And we have a special term for having breakfast in the Chinese in the local language. It's 过早. And people here have invented so many options for breakfast. For example, you have the skin of the soybean and also the glutinous rice snacks, as well as the Chinese donuts and other. But among all the choices, the most known representative would be the hot dry noodles. So we have a lot of shops, a lot of restaurants for the hot dry noodles, but the most famous one among them would be the Cailingji restaurant. So let's start our trip and the journey of the delicious food now starts. It's already 8 p.m., but still you could notice a lot of passengers are wandering here and they are enjoying the good food. And this is the restaurant that we are talking about. This is Cailingji restaurant. And inside they have the best dry noodle, the hot dry noodles of this Hubu Lane. So those are the options on the menu. Apart from the hot dry noodles, you also can have many other choices. So I'd like to suggest the hot dry noodles with beef. So we'd like to take the rice wine and also the hot dry noodles with beef. After ordering the dishes, we could have a small ticket. And talking about the breakfast of the Wuhan citizens, they usually would prefer to have the hot dry noodles. After ordering our dishes, we would receive this coupon, this ticket, and we will give the ticket to the chef. We'd like to have one hot dry noodles with beef. And we know that for the citizens in Wuhan, we would add some sauce of the sesame. If you eat the hot dry noodles in other restaurants, usually the sesame sauce would be in a brown color, but here you would have darker colors. It's more like the black color of the sauce of sesame. So Lady Zhuo Yun, could you please tell us more about the delicious food? We know that there is a famous critique of the food called Cailan, and he has referred to the city of Wuhan as the capital of breakfast. Since the dynasties of Ming and Qing, we have already this Hubu Lane gaining reputation. And our noodles are ready. So we will first take our noodles and we'd like to show to everyone how it looks like. We have on the top a layer of the beef, and now we'd like to have a try on our noodles. We'd like to invite our cameraman to join us too. So I would just put my microphone down to better enjoy our hot dry noodles. As is mentioned before, this is the hot dry noodles with the beef. First of all, we will uncover the sesame sauce to all of you. You could tell that the color is different from that you can find in other restaurants. The darker the color, actually the purer the sesame sauce. Before having your noodles, you have to mix the sauce with the noodles. And in other areas of China, during the most difficult moment of this year, we are sending our support and wishes to our city of Wuhan. And even President Xi had said that during the epidemic period, he said, "Come on, the city of Wuhan, come on, the hot, dry noodles." Now we have fully mixed the sauce of sesame with the hot, dry noodles. And we believe that the sesame sauce is the soul of the noodles. In order to prepare the hot dry noodles, first of all, you would have some previous preliminary preparation the night before. Actually, in the very beginning, the chef who had created this hot dry noodles, during the preparation of them, the previous night, he would like to add up some sauce of the soybeans, but instead he knocked down the bottle of the sesame sauce. So he had to finish the work, and then he believed that just with the sauce of the sesame, maybe it would be okay too. And it turned out that the sesame sauce made the noodles even more delicious. So that is the way how we invented the hot dry noodles, the noodles with the sesame sauce. So it's really delicious. What about the beef? So when we add the beef inside the hot dry noodles, we have enriched the flavor, because in the very beginning, only with the sesame sauce is vegetarian food, but now when you add up some meat and also some other ingredients, it's better flavored and is more delicious. And what about this? This is the rice wine. It looks very cute and attractive. Inside we have the dried flowers and also the white balls of the glutinous rice. Because we have added the dried flowers of the osmanthus, so you could also smell the fragrance of the osmanthus from the rice wine. You have a lot of ingredients inside. You have the glutinous rice balls and also the rice particles, and the black ones are actually the dried osmanthus flower and also the goji. If you add goji, then it becomes a very nutritious food. It will be a very good option for breakfast or for dinner. So because we cannot finish everything, since we are broadcasting a live streaming program, we would ask the owner of the restaurant to put our food into the takeaway package. So later after the program, we could come back and take it away. So could you please make it a takeaway, and we would like to stock it here for some moments. So one tip for you, if you cannot finish your food for the moment, then please don't forget to make them a takeaway, and in that case, you will not waste any food. After having the taste of this very delicious hot dry noodles of the Cailingji restaurant, we're about to continue with our journey in the Hubu Lane. And let's continue with the previous topic. As mentioned before, Mr. Cailan, the famous critic of the delicious food, has described the city of Wuhan as the capital of the breakfast. And you have other recommendations here in the Hubu Lane. Actually, we are standing in a place that is connecting different scenic spots. For example, to one side of the Hubu Lane, we have the very famous tower that is the Yellow Crane Tower. And many people, after visiting the surrounding area, would come to the Hubu Lane. And a lot of startups of the restaurants have appeared here. The total length of the lane is 147 meters. We have the beef noodles of the Chins and also another restaurant famous for the hot dry noodles. Those are the really traditional brands of restaurants, really old restaurants. They grew together with the story of the Hubu Lane. What about this restaurant? The creator of this restaurant has created the brand since old age, and at the age of 102 years old, this old man has finally witnessed the success of his restaurant. So at the age of 70s or 80s, the creator or the founder of this shop has decided to mount up this restaurant, and finally, after decades of hard work, we have embraced the success of this restaurant. And Joyun, could you please make some more recommendations of the food here in this Hubu Lane? So after having a try on the hot dry noodles, we're about to take the Chinese buns. This is called 凉物华美. Those are one type of the Chinese dumplings. We say that for the delicious food, it's not enough to have a good taste, but it's also important to have a good look. So you are the owner, right? Good evening. We are the journalists from CCTV. So still, we have to take our temperatures during the pandemic. Good evening, sir. Please be seated. So by the entrance, we have noticed you have really colorful dumplings. Could you please tell us the story behind? So you may find that I have a strong accent. Please don't mind my accent. So in order to make the different colors of the dumplings, we have added the juice of the vegetables. So in the past, you only make the traditional dumplings with the soup inside, but later you have made some innovations. Yes, of course, we'd like to show you some of our products. This is the menu of the restaurant. They have different choices. For example, the colorful soup dumplings and the meat soup dumplings, tomato soup dumplings, and finally the crab meat soup dumplings. In old days, we only make the white color dumplings with soup, but finally we have decided to make some upgrading to make our dumplings with soup more attractive to the elderly persons and also to the children. So in the past, we will mainly have the pork, the fresh pork meat dumplings. And you also have to master some techniques in order to eat the dumplings with soup. Because you have to be really careful when having the soup dumplings. And there's also a secret. The technique is special technique. You have to master that technique in order not to be hurt by the hot temperature of the soup inside the dumpling. You should not have a big bite on the dumpling from the very beginning. Yes, when you are having a soup dumpling, you should make very small bites and turn the dumplings very gently. First of all, you should have a very small openings on the surface, on the skin of the dumplings. And then you would sip the soup very gently, and after finishing the soup, you could enjoy the stuffing inside. So our soup dumplings are ready. After removing the cover, you could immediately notice the charm of these soup dumplings. And different colors come from different vegetables. For example, the violet color, the purple color comes from the purple sweet potato. And the white one had the shrimps inside. And for the yellow one, we have added the pumpkins and papaya. And for the orange, we have added the tomato inside. So could we have the dumplings directly? Yes. After waiting for 10 seconds, you could start to serve. Now please show us the techniques for having the soup dumplings. First of all, you have to use your chopsticks to lift the soup dumplings very gently and drop it on your spoon, and you could tell that the liquids are flowing inside. You have to make a small bite, really small openings on the surface of the skin. And you should not just use your chopsticks to make a hole, because in that way all the soup would flow away. And then you could add some sauce. And then you could also add some ginger. So, dear viewers, now you must be understanding the technique and you know how to eat. And now I'd like to have a try by myself. First of all, I lift it up and then I put it into my spoon and I will try to bite a very small opening on the skin of the dumplings, and I'll try to sip all the soup. So after trying so many times the soup dumplings, finally I'm correct this time, serving the soup dumplings. And next step is to put it into the plate in order to let our sauce go inside the dumpling, and then add some ginger slices. And then you would finish the whole dumpling by one whole bite. Like this, you would have the authentic taste of the soup dumplings. What about you, Zhou Yun? Have you been hurt by the hot temperature? Not at all. And these dumplings are really delicious. So for the citizens, we will not say that we need to eat the soup dumplings. Actually, it's not considered as a staple food. It's more like a snack. It's also a way to memorize the past. And then we will make everything on the spot. First of all, you have to take some time to admire. This is like the art piece, like the artwork. And then when you put the dumpling of soup inside your mouth, you would feel that the skin and also the stuffing would be a little bit sticky, and that degree is very important. You should follow a lot of criteria in order to make the best of the soup dumplings. I'd like to have another one. I'd like to take one of the orange color. It's with the tomatoes inside. So first I lift it very gently, and then I will make a very small opening on the skin of the dumplings. And then add up some more sauce and also the slices of the ginger, and I will finish then one bite. And as you could tell, the skins are very elastic. You cannot break the skin. You cannot break the skin. And they are very chewy, the skins of the dumplings, because you have added some special ingredients. So again, dear viewers, we are now in the restaurant of Huamei soup dumplings in the Hubu Lane, and we have invited the owner of the restaurant to give us explanations of the skills of tasting the soup dumplings. And many visitors from other cities, they even fly to the city on purpose in order to enjoy the delicious food of Wuhan. In August, we have organized a festival for the delicious food, and many people from other provinces have flown to our city in order to have a taste of the delicious food of this heroic city. So this is the feature of the Wuhan city. So could you please keep these in the takeaway package? And we're about to have a visit in other restaurants, and we could continue our journey now. You're all welcome to have a visit to the Hubu Lane. Here you would have plenty things to know and also a lot of things to try. So for the first time, I know how to have and how to taste those soup dumplings correctly. And to our left-hand side, we can notice a cultural wall on which we could find the ways of food making. So Joy, could you please say something about these delicious snacks? Yes, from the wall we could see the traditions of breakfast. For example, the bean curd. In the past, you would use a very special spoon to collect the bean curd. And also the steam basket to contain the shumai. Shumai is a very good choice for breakfast and also for lunch and dinner. And the buns and also the dumplings. And this is the soybean skin. You may find the soybean skins in many different cities, but the skins of the soybeans would vary in taste. So over there, you also have a restaurant for the skin of the soybean. The soybean skin from Wuhan is very famous, and we would add a lot of ingredients inside. For example, you have this restaurant called Yangtze River. In Chinese, it means that they have something special for you. So, madam, we'd like to have a bite of this skin of soybean. We have a lot of stuffings inside. On the surface, it's the skin of the soybean mixed with the eggs, the fried eggs. And then we'd like to show to all the viewers. So on the surface, we could see the eggs. And with the stuffing, we have the beef and spices and also the glutinous rice. And now I'd like to have a taste myself. So for the features of the soybean skins, they are very crispy on the surface, but very tender in the stuffing. Joyun, do you know that when I was a child, I would take this as a breakfast. And the restaurant owner gave me one piece of the skin of the soybean, and I would ask for some extra sauce because I'm one of the fans of the ingredients and the source of the skin of the soybean. I myself would prefer to have some more crispy skin surface. So for different people, they have different tastes and different preferences. So thank you very much, Madam. Later we will come back and take this away. Please keep the food for us. Let's continue with our journey of discovery. As we mentioned before, this is a very traditional and very famous lane of Hubu with a long history. In 2003-2002, we have carried out an upgrading program of the Hubu Lane, and in front of us, this is the pathway called the Pathway of Freedom. And now it's half past 8 p.m. A lot of restaurants and shops are still open, and many visitors are around. And I heard that there is a band, a local band of Wuhan, performing nearby. So let's go and have a check. And Hubu Lane is not only a paradise of delicious food. We also would like to enrich the charm and beauty of the Hubu Lane. For example, add up some more cultural elements. So for many viewers just tuning in, we'd like to introduce to you that actually we are walking in the Hubu Lane of Wuhan city, which is considered as the paradise of the traditional snacks of Wuhan. And as is mentioned by our guest, Madam Zhuo Yun, we have also created a lot of cultural elements here. So we are about to go to the main entrance gate of the Hubu Lane because over there a local band of Wuhan is giving performance. And the name of the band could give us the touch of the city of Wuhan. And the name comes from one of the local snacks. And just now, we have already tasted the hot dry noodles, the soup dumplings, as well as the skin of the soybeans. So you could leave your answers on our platform. The name of this local band comes from one of the three snacks. So tonight, they're about to perform some local songs to the people. And this is also a band that would sing in dialect of Wuhan. The local language, the dialect of Wuhan, It's not easy to understand, but it's very interesting to hear that. When you hear a local citizen speaking in dialect, you could immediately feel the strength and also the spirit of the people and also of the city. And now let's go closer and have a check on the band. As we could tell from distance, a lot of people have already gathered there to enjoy the performance of the local band. It's a very crowded environment. And the band is performing now. And they're also doing the live streaming.
可以点歌吗？
可以点歌，可以点歌。
我们想听一首这个汉阳门花园，可以
Could
吗
you please sing the 汉阳门 Garden for us? Yes, of course.
因为这首歌也是非常代表我们。
So this is a song that could best represent the city of Wuhan, and we are very close to Hanyangmen Garden. To the west of the Hubu Lane, and by the feet of the Yangtze River bridge, we had the song of the Hanyangmen Garden.
外地人为了看大小，才来到了汉阳门。
很多人啊，听到这个歌的名字，以为汉阳门在汉阳，实际上呢，汉阳门在武昌。
On hearing the name, people would think that Hanyangmen Garden is located at Hanyang, but it's not that in reality. It's located in Wuchang. It's a very beautiful song.
对，那这个
当时也是引起了就是全国各地的武汉游子，还有包括当时在武汉城
By
内的人
then, this song has united all the people of Wuhan living in the city or outside the city. People would
其实家乡的味
recall
道，
the
不管
love
是
for
家
their
乡的美食，还
hometown.
是家乡的音乐，家乡的一个花园， 对我们来说都是最深刻
The
的眷恋。
music
那么我们
and
也希
also
望
the
把
delicious
湖相
foods of the
打造成
hometown
这样的一
will
个城市的
always
精神家
be
园。
a very good part of the
歌词里
memory.
面唱到了很多地名啊，民主路就是我们附近的一条
And
道
in the
路。
lyrics
哎，就是我
of
们
the
所在的这条
song,
道路。
就我们
they
现在
have
在
covered a lot of names of the roads.
户部巷，也是我们刚
including
才
the
唱到
Hubu
的歌
Lane
词里面
没。错。
然后副歌部分呢也非常简单，但是朗朗上口。每一次听到这样的旋律，就会想到自己的小时候啊。
And every time when I hear the song, I would think of my childhood.
夏天是榴花，晴天都是泪，雨天啊，冬天梅花。夏天是榴花，过楼的看风景，居家的卖青菜。这个晴天都是人，雨天都是啊就是小孩儿的意思。
天天都想家家，家家人每天在等到我，哪一天能回家？
这一段呢讲的家家就是这个外婆的意思。 说小时候，
And this part
这
of
个
the
不管在外面玩的多晚，
is
回到家以
talking
后，
about
外
the
婆都会给
grandmother.
我们留一碗暖暖的这个
Every
藕汤。
time when
没错，
we
也欢迎大
come
家到户部
home,
巷来品尝
our
藕汤。
grandma
对，这
would
也是我们湖北武汉
prepare some
的
good
特
food
色。
for
哎，
us.
说起来，藕汤用的藕都是洪湖九孔
And
藕。
usually we would
非常
add
的
some
跟
lotus
外地的藕
roots
不一样。
inside
确
the
实，因为藕
soup.
有面藕和脆藕之
And
分。
we also have two types of the roots of lotus here used in the soup.
过楼的看风景，居家的卖青菜。过楼的看风景，居家的卖青菜。
好不好听啊？
Do you like it? Yes, of course. Thank you very much.
好，刚才我们在户部巷的门口呢，听到的
Just
就是
now
来
by
自
the main entrance gate
这个热干面乐
of
队
the
的小
Hubu
姐姐的一
Lane,
个演唱。
we
她们两
have
首歌曲
enjoyed
分
the
别
two
都是
songs
一个是原创
presented
的
performed
有关
by
过岛的，
our
另外一个呢是
local
勾起了
band
武汉人
of
情怀的
热干面,
汉阳
which
文化
means the
园。
hot
那
dry
这首歌里
noodles.
面也唱到了很多地名。我们
In
所
their
在的
songs,
民主
they
路
have
我们刚刚
mentioned
经
a
过
lot
的户
of
部巷，
road
包括
names,
他唱到的
including
这个
the
歌名
Hubu
汉阳文化
Lane
园也
and
在我
also
们的
the
附近不远处。我们
Hayang
通过这一场短暂的直播，其实
Garden.
并不能把我们大武汉的
However,
美
by
全部带大家
this
领略到，也不能带大家
limited
尝遍所有的美食。
live
可是
streaming
我们对于
program,
城市
we
的这一份
cannot
热爱，包
cover
括
the
武汉这座城市目
corners,
前的
all the
活力
corners of
魅
the
力，还
city.
是得到
But
了一定的
still,
展示
through
的。
our
我们希望
program
所有的武汉
tonight,
本地
you
人
could
都
feel
能
the
够
charm and the
热爱
beauty
生
of the
活，
city
都
of
能够去
Wuhan.
享受
You
身
know
边的一
that
些美食和
people,
美
the
好。希望
citizens
其
in
他的外地
Wuhan
朋友能够
are
有机会来
always
到我们湖
enjoying
北
their
武汉，
life,
品尝我们
and
这
I
里
hope
的
that
非
all
常
the
好吃
people
的小
in
吃
living
美
in
食，
other
来领略
regions,
我
if you
们
have a
武汉的
chance,
一些丰富
please
的
don't
历史和
hesitate to
文化。
come to
那以上
Wuhan
我们
to
通
feel
过
the
了去
charm
到
by
武汉
yourselves
口江
and
滩和武
also
汉
to have a
武昌的
taste
户
of
部
the
巷，带大
delicious
家
snacks.
通过一个侧面了解了武
So
汉夜
just
间
now
的
we
精致
have
文
showed
化
to
和魅
you
力。也
just
非常感谢大
one
家的收
part of
看。
the
更多
profile
的
of the
精彩内
Wuhan
容，大家可以
city.
继续的关
So
注央视新闻，
if
包
you
括
want to
上海
know
日报的
about this
APP
beautiful
同步的
city
关
of
注。那以
Wuhan,
上就是本
please
场
stay
直播的
tuned
全部内容了。我
with
们下一次
CCTV
再
News.
见，
This
拜
is all
拜。
for today's live streaming. See you next time.